All right. So we have a decision to make. And I guess to again summarize what happened so far, what we did, was that we've been following the story of the white-haired girl who we've learned was named Giselle. Her story spans in multiple eras. First, she was in the what is it, the 1500s? I think 1500s. I think it's 1500s or 1700 or 1600s. I don't know. Anyway, I forgot already the years, but in chronological order anyway. She was just a girl with pale skin and red eyes who was being chased away by a mob because she was weird. She ended up in a mansion with some dude named Michelle. He had a weird thing where if he touched people, they die, or any kind of living thing really. They, ended up together. They had a great time until an incident happened where it seemed that she was gonna die from him being accidentally touching her, and so they supposedly, seemingly spent their last moments up in the observation tower before him sacrificing his life to repel the attackers and everything. As it turns out, however, it seems that she was alive this whole time, and apparently the curse didn't affect her. And then it is revealed that the witch, Morgana, was obviously the maid who has been talking to us this entire time, and she makes a deal. As it turns out, the reason why she keeps appearing in every, era is because she keeps getting reincarnated. I thought she was good, she was like immortal or something, but no, she was trying to, or rather she was under the powers of the witch, who granted her wish to meet up with Michelle again in another, I guess, reincarnation. It never seems to happen though. It seems like she comes back as a different person. Her appearance is mostly the same. She always also ends up in this mansion, obviously, and she just keeps meeting other guys. She's just basically dating other guys. It always ends in tragedy though. With Mel, his sister got very jealous, and she her hair turned into a wig, and then she was chased out, I guess, as a beggar. Second time was she fell in love with the Beast and everything, but as it turns out, the Beast is kind of a psychopath. But also, I guess she also got murdered by a bunch of people who wanted revenge on the Beast as well, so that didn't work out. And also in the Industrial Revolution, she had a very abusive husband called Jacopo, who was manipulated by the maid Maria, but still, either way, she also got chased up because of the abuse as well. So, it just never works out in any of the eras. And her original wish was never granted either. She didn't seem to ever meet Michelle, unless all the guys were maybe reincarnations of Michelle as well, but simply did not, keep their appearance, maybe? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it, though. The personalities are quite different. I'm not sure how it works. I don't know how the reincarnation thing works. I already say it, but say it again, why not? But there you go. So that's what's been happening this entire time. We've been following her story through the eras, and now finally we're back in this, the present time, which is a space outside of time, I guess, where we, yet again, I guess she's coming back as the white-haired girl, Giselle, talking to the witch, and now the witch has offered 3 options, it seems. She says not really 3 options, more like there is 3 options, but rather she offers to simply stay with Morgana instead. Instead of chasing after Michelle, let's just stay with the witch or whatever. Yuri route? No. So you can accept it, you can reject it, or you could say there's still more to be done. Which is interesting, and that might mean because we did all the extra stuff during the house, getting the key and touching the mirror and everything, maybe the third option is a way towards some kind of special ending. I'm not sure, but I'll probably check out all the choices anyway, but my first choice is, yeah, why not? Guys are overrated. Let's just stay with the witch. Even though she's pretty creepy and probably kind of evil. I don't know. I guess we'll see. She was absolutely right. You had seen an excess of tragedy. You have borne witness to far too much pain, and your spirit was deeply wounded by it. You cannot possibly endure any further tragedy, and so, if she was offering you relief from all that, perhaps you should accept it. she had guided you this far, never letting go of your hand. It was her presence that allowed you to bear the bleak, disheartening, and wretched tales you saw. Did you really need anything other than her? If she says she wanted to be with you, then surely you are allowed to want the same. Grasp my hand, Master. Come, hold it tight. You gently wrap your fingers around the maid's cold hand. Never again to let go. Never again to remember. Never again to look back upon the past you might have had, the rare treasured days of happiness, or the bitter days filled with nothing but pain. Or the person you were supposed to find. But you were fine of that. There is no one to criticize you for averting your eyes from your pain and seizing the opportunity for happiness lying before you. You made the correct choice. Have I? It seems a bit biased, this narrator. I wonder if this leads to an ending, or does it continue? I'm not sure. We'll see. Seems there's more, though. Master. Oh, thank goodness you have awoken. I was getting worried there for a moment. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since last we met. Tell me, Master. I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited. But we get to be together forever after all. Free of the flow of time, nothing to endanger us or our lives. Just peace and serenity for two of us. I will serve you forever and ever. Does that not sound wonderful, Master? I mean, doesn't sound too bad? Might get a little boring though. Got any Wi-Fi? No? Okay, so that's ending one. Okay. I mean, that's obviously, yeah, that's just simply we're just being trapped in the house forever. You know, I had my suspicions as well. You know, all these stories being told by the witch might be a little, you know, a little biased as well. It might not be the whole story, I would say. Anyway, we'll go back to the title, I guess. Manga Gamer. You know, Manga Gamer has a policy, by the way, that you're not supposed to stream these visual novels. I don't know if I mentioned it before. They have this thing where it's like you're not supposed to stream it or record it. But as far as I know, when I double check the Twitter for, I think I said it before, but the Twitter for Novectacle, I think they said at least to one person. I don't know if it applies to me, but I said to at least one person that they are allowed to stream the whole thing. You know, it's fine. It's not too big of a deal. Hopefully. And the policy on Manga Gamer did say that the developers' wishes do override the publishers. So hopefully, I don't get in trouble. Anyway. So there you go. What happens when you accept her proposition? You end up with a witch forever. It's okay, I guess, but it's kind of like a neutral ending. Not much happens. It's just like, well, I guess we're here forever. That's it. We can reject her proposition. I wonder if she'll get mad. Let's see. You cannot accept the maid's offer. If what she said was true, you cannot give up on your search. You have spent years and years waiting to reunite with someone. Your previous attempts may have been rife with mistakes, but you cannot stop trying. Come, Master. Spend eternity with me in the mansion. We will have the most wonderful time together, drinking tea, you know, every day. The sweet tone of her voice, her cold fingers, her icy smile. These were all terrifying now. You had to escape. Had to break out of this darkness, make it outside. Master, what is the... You brushed the maid's hand aside. As her eyes widened, aghast, you fled from the observation tower. Down and down the spiral staircase you went, though not a whisper of a footstep could be heard in the stone tower. The stairs seemed to go on forever. Down and down and down and down. At long last you arrive at the bottom, dashing from the next room without a passing glance at the angel in the stained glass window. Run, 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 run everywhere. The maid has shown you around the mansion, so you knew its layout. You know, it's marked on your minimap. Or perhaps you were familiar with it even before arriving here. A large door came into view. The exit was up ahead. Master. But the next moment, her voice seized you from behind. You turned back and there stood the maid, wearing the same smile. Where do you think you're going, Master? I told you, you mustn't let go of my hand. This mansion is quite large. You could get lost if you go walking around unaccompanied. Unaccompanied? Unaccompanied? Now come, let us head back. And please, do not let go of my hand. It was the same smile she always wore. The exact smile. The exact same. But right now, it seemed inexplicably ghoulish. The chill that ran down your spine was not from the lack of heat, but utter terror. Come, let us head somewhere else. You had to get out of here. Oh, I know. We can put some more kindling in the fireplace and start a fire. The sweet firelight and gentle warmth will have you feeling wonderful in no time. You had to get out of here. You must be quite disorientated. The impact of regaining your memories has you terrified. Am I correct? You had to get away. You had to escape. You had to get out of here. Do not worry. I will always take care of you. Keep you safe from anything that scares you. I will be here with you forever. You clawed at the door. It was not barred, so it should open. Nevertheless, it remained firmly in place. Now, you mustn't play around with that. Danger lurks around every corner outside. Fog blocking your sight, sinkholes in the road, a thick forest all around, beasts creeping about in the night. How could I possibly allow weak little you to go out into that? Now come back to my side, please. You have no need to be here. The maid drew towards you. She reached out her hand. Her whole body seemed to be trying to encase you in ice. She wanted to keep you chained here in the darkness. Do not worry. There's nothing to be afraid of. You had to get out of this place. You had to break free from this house of darkness, from this dotting maid, and from the maelstrom of tragedy. It was like a helicopter parent, this maid. She's very, smothering you. You had to remain firm, unyielding in that desire. Your desire to go outside. Your wish to be set free. You cannot compromise or relent. Your thirst for escape had to be stronger than the maid's intent to keep you here. If it was, the door was surely open. Master! You dashed out to the light. There's nothing blocking your escape outside. No fog, no forest, no sinkholes, and no beasts in sight. The light was so bright it almost hurt your eyes. It was a world exactly opposite the darkness within the house. Master, please wait. You mustn't go out there. Come back, quickly. You could hear the maid's voice, but you kept running through the light as far as you could go. Wherever you arrived, you were sure that you were where you were meant to be. Once, though, just once, you looked back over your shoulder. It was blurry in the bright light, but you could see the mansion there. It wavered like a mirage, as though it could disappear at any second. The maid standing in the open door. She was desperately reaching her hands out for you, but you were far out of reach. It seems she could not leave the house. Perhaps you felt a pang of pity for her, but you were not sure. And when you could no longer hear the maid shouting for you, your consciousness snapped off. You fell not into darkness, but light. Are we dead? Because, maybe it's not a good idea to... Oh, no, actually, that's fine. It's the modern time. Did we end up in, the modern... I guess we're in Paris? I think we're in Paris. You see the Eiffel Tower right there? Kind of blurry, but... I was wondering, okay, well, actually, I think I know what happened. Alright, we'll see, I guess. Huh? What? What was I doing again? Oh, that's right. I was on my way to school. But now, what was I doing dozing off in the middle of the road? I'm not sure. I feel kind of in a daze. Like I just woke up from a terrible nightmare. In the middle of the day? In the middle of the road? Nothing like that's ever happened before. Has it? Something doesn't add up. Can't remember what I was doing. Like there's a big gap in my memory. What was I doing? Who was I looking for? Need to stay focused. I have to get going or I'll be late. You don't have like Tosa in her mouth? Running. I know this place all too well. It's the same route I take to school every day. There's a vendor along the way that always waves good morning to me. As it turns out, by the way, this entire time, it was actually taking place in high school. She's a high school student. It's like in every single anime ever, That's like a school setting in modern times. Uh, Always the same route. I know this place? Yes, I know this place. I see it every day. Every day. Nothing changes, it's always the same. My perfectly normal, ordinary, everyday life. Hmm? Ah, a gentle breeze brushes against my cheeks. My hair flutters as my gaze slides upward. I'm looking at a tall, handsome man with long hair and a somewhat despondent demeanor. Sounds familiar. I think I know this man. As soon as I see him, I feel like someone stuck their hand in my chest and is squeezing my heart. It's hard to breathe, and the overwhelming sense of familiarity has me on the verge of tears. Elation jolts through all of my extremities. I know. This is the person I've been searching for. Excuse me. Excuse me. I have to get him to turn back. I have to look him in the eyes. I have to talk to him. We have to be reunited. I don't know his name, and he probably doesn't know mine, but still. This is fate, so... Back to the mansion. What? I must go back to the mansion. Hold on, there's, something I need to tell you. Could I have made that mistake? It was the worst possible decision. To make things right, I have to take her hand. I have to make her smile for me. But I can't do that, what am I even alive for? What did I even return from the everlasting darkness for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What are you talking about? This time I'll do it. Can you hear me? Why won't you look at me in the eyes? And if it's not possible in this life? Stop, please, listen to me! Why does he keep moving forward? Then I'll just have to place my hope in the next one. Wait, red light! I beg your forgiveness. I made the worst possible decision, though I will not make the same mistake twice. No matter what form you may assume, I will not err again. I promise, I shall come back for you. Giselle. Isekai? It's like, okay, interesting. Well, okay, so I mean, if it wasn't obvious already, it seems like this is what happens when she reincarnates as herself again in another era. Every time it seems, I guess her consciousness goes back to the mansion, and then she escapes, and then she, gets reincarnated back into herself again in the future. It seems Michelle has been doing the same thing, but for some reason he had his AirPods on, so he didn't hear the person that he was looking for this entire time. It's very ironic. And so I guess he kills himself and then hoping he'll get reincarnated again and then look for her again or something. I don't know. Anyway. Hey, someone call an ambulance. Someone's been hit by a car. What? Well, that's ending two then. So maybe in every timeline, Michelle was there, but they just never end up meeting. And this one was maybe the closest they would ever meet again. That didn't work out because he said something about the bad decision, or I don't know what he did in that timeline. I guess he's like, oh, I guess she's not in this timeline. As like she's just yelling at him from behind. I guess I'll just go kill myself. It's it's like it's that easy. Just for some reason, you just isekai yourself. I don't know. It's not really isekai though. Seems like I mean, unless he knew what was going. I mean, this is all supernatural. But I'm thinking, like, what if you just thought you would get reincarnated? What if you just die permanently if you did that? How would you know you even get reincarnated in the first place? I mean, I don't know. Unless he made a deal with a witch before as well. I'm not sure. I don't know if he did that. 'Cause we didn't see him interact with a witch, but maybe he did. Anyway, reload here. So there you go. That's two endings. Again, this game is a lot longer, I think, when I looked it up on Google, basically, or there's a website that said like how long is to beat the game. That shouldn't be all there is to it to this game. There's more, so let's just say that there's more. There is still more to be done. Should be a lot longer, I think. This is only halfway, as far as I know. There should be more. Anyway, something seemed off. Not only with the story she had just told, with her, and with you yourself. Assuming everything she had said was the truth. Which or not, my mind is made up. Which will strike you first, I wonder? Regret or the curse? You seem to be doing just fine. It's only a tale. The witch is real. Very much so. It's not a legend, nor a fairy tale. The witch is me. That's right. It wasn't the white-haired girl who had claimed to be the witch. And that wasn't all. What do you mean to reclaim your old self no matter the cost? Actually, I don't remember what voice did I give this painting. I'm not sure. If you're sincerely prepared to do that, then be wary of the tale that comes next. And tragedy may seem too beautiful to be real, or any tragedy that seems too beautiful to be real is precisely that, a fabrication. None of your questions have been answered. You still didn't know who the painting was, or what had taken place so long ago that caused the mansion to summon people to it. You didn't even know who you were, for that matter. There's still more to be done. You had to find the truth. You needed to find someone. That much was certain. But was the story the maid had told correct about whom? And if it was... What about her? What about the woman whose name you couldn't say? The woman who had so cheerfully called you master? This one. I don't know who this person is. We agree that we should live together, not just in the same house. We got plenty of time to add more to the list, and I hope you can make your own list about me too. This is just the beginning after all. We got a long, long time ahead of us. Plenty enough to get to know each other, no? You must say her name. You must take her hand. You must make her smile once again. You must reclaim your old self. It's dark. Dark. It's dark. It's dark again. It's dark. 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 Constantly. Constantly? Anyway. Constantly engulfed in the darkness. You threw it away every single time. I must break out of this darkness. I'll give you a world that's not cruel to you. I must escape and take her hand. Because that's... the reason... Oh, I've got a wonderful idea. I came here. You can curse them with me. I must return. I must reclaim. We can think of new ways to torture them. We'll all be happy we stay here. Just think about it. Stay here in this world. You'll be right at home. No, I did the best I could do for you, nothing more. It's not where I belong. No matter how much of a world of darkness may suit me, you'll never be able to do it. I must reclaim my true self. Well, no choice there. We could just click that, I guess. Save just in case. Why are the squishy noises, by the way? What's this gurgling sounds? This is brilliant. Do you have any idea how terrible a decision that is? Do you have any idea why I fabricated that story? It was all for you. So stay here. Stay right where you are. The darkness suits you better. Nah. Click. Remember what someone told you not long ago? That you could handle the stories because they weren't your own. You were able to bear the tragedies because they happened to others. If that had been your suffering, if the secrets you had kept buried away for so long had come out, you couldn't possibly have endured it. Reply. But you're a sharp one. I'm sure you intend to keep those secrets tucked away forever. You really think I'm going to let you do that, though? Whatever you try to hide, I'll make sure your beloved hears every last detail. I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna play myself real quick, please. How foolish can you be? Despite all my encouragement, you still insist on getting your old self back. What do you have to gain from that? Nothing but filthy, ugly tragedy awaits you down this path. Don't get your hopes up, my dear. There's nothing for you there. You have nothing. I'm offering you a place by my side. You should just take it. There's no salvation for you anywhere. None, at all, anywhere, from anyone, ever. I assume, I don't know, I wasn't sure who was talking, but I assume the witch is talking right now. In the red text. She has long since lost all grip on reality, and you think there's anything you can do for her now, despite having repeatedly failed to ever regain yourself. Well, I suppose you're going to be stubborn. As much as I don't want to, I have to place a curse on your soul. That's right. The white-haired girl was never at the mansion. Nani? There's still a story left untold. What? The fourth door was all a lie. What do you mean? It was not some sweet little tragedy. The story you told was pure fantasy. No, that was the truth. That was where it all began. Because of what happened then, you spent innumerable years lost until you showed up here and... What? You reach out, grasping for it. You pull yourself in. Your silhouette, which has been hazy till now, begins to take form. The mind, your consciousness, your heart, your soul, and your body. Who are you? The veil of your mind dissipates. A craft forms in the shell encasing you, and then another. The invisible shackles chaining your spirit fall to the floor. Reality fades atop the indistinct, foggy world around you. Bony fingers appear before your eyes. Long hair? Your voice. No. My voice. My body. My fingers. My arms are frail, my joints weak. Despite my resemblance to the white-haired girl, I am not her. This is who I am. I finally reclaimed myself. You weren't waiting for the white-haired girl. You were waiting for me. That's exactly why I came here. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. I've always waited for the white-haired. There was never a white-haired girl. There is only... This time. This time I must say her name. She is... Giselle. There's only you. I am... Giselle? No, I'm not Giselle. I'm a servant of the house. I'm the witch. The cause... You're not the witch. The witch is someone else. Why do you insist that you're the witch? What changed you so much? Okay, weird. Right, so that was the person. It was his short hair that confused me, but I guess that was Giselle. But then, so the white-haired girl is not Giselle actually, and so what? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is a logical conclusion, but in that case, in the very first story, at least chronologically, which is the latest story, the fourth story anyway, was about Giselle, but but she didn't have white hair and everything. She is similar though. I guess she is pale, so I guess I don't know if they ever mentioned in the story, in the fourth story, if they mentioned anything about the red eyes or white hair. Maybe the only thing they mentioned was pale skin, and you know, that might have been just Giselle this entire time. I don't know. The shadowy figure in the master bedroom, that was her. A glimpse into her past. I'm sure this is Giselle, but why is she so different? What happened to the spark she used to have? Where did the light she once shone upon the world go? I have to remember. I must remember. This cannot end until I have. This is no longer a story. No, what I need to face is my past, and her heart. She was not even present in the story she made up. Everything about it had been changed. The past I lived, the wounds she bore were more grounded in harsh reality, now wrapped in a film of fairy tale magic. That was the final tale. It was all true. It's how it happened. It was a bittersweet story. No. How could you not see this? Yes, it was a beautiful tragedy, but was there even a scrap of humanity in it? Behind the three preceding doors, there had been a constant thread of ugliness and conflicting motivations, but there was hardly a trace of that behind the fourth door. Was that true? I mean... I don't know. I don't know. They all seem pretty bad. If nothing else, I mean, the second and third one, definitely. The guys, Jacopo and the Beast, Yukimasa, kind of the kind of assholes in their own ways. So, definitely. Mel, though, just seemed like... Yeah, I don't know, Mel didn't do anything wrong, though. I feel like Mel was just like, yeah. Mel didn't seem like all that bad, really. All things considered, but but apparently it's, I don't know. Does the fourth door have the same ugliness as the other ones? I mean, they got killed by a mob, or at least, Michelle got killed by a mob. Yeah, I don't know, seemed pretty the same to me, anyway. The characters felt like nothing more than characters. Is that what you want to turn into? Is that what you want our history to become? Our history? But I don't remember anything at all. You don't remember anything. No, I don't want to. I don't need a past or a future. All I have left inside me is uncertainty. Just so. No, that's not my name. Please stop trying to confuse me. I'm fine with the things the way they are. If it means I don't have to hurt, that's all I want. So please, just let me keep being the maid. Let me keep being a guide, not some foolish girl. Is that what she honestly desires? Does she want to cast aside her past for good? If so, then... Okay. It's kind of confusing though, so because I'm trying to think, like, we're the Giselle, right? But then, are we Morgana as well, or are we just talking to ourselves? We're just really just talking to ourselves. In which case, because when we're not the white-haired girl, then what happened in the ending that seemed to be about the white-haired girl in the modern setting? I'm not sure. Anyway, very confusing to me right now. There's an option though. It says I won't force her, or not remembering is an option. I don't know. I mean, either way could lead to a bad ending. I feel like I don't know which one's the correct thing to do. I mean, it seems like this one is like probably a good thing to do, but also could be a bad thing. I don't know. Obviously, we want this person to remember so that we know more about the story. I don't know. I'll choose this one, I guess. I won't force her. I can't force her to do something she doesn't want to. She doesn't reclaim herself on her own. I'll never get to hear her say my name again. But she wants to leave all that behind her. It's not my place to interfere. I've done things that would warrant her to wanting to rewrite her past, erasing me entirely. But I think more than anything, I'm afraid of hurting her, or breaking her any more than she already is. No, mine is a more cowardly fear. I'm just afraid she'll no longer take my hand. Alright then. What should I have been behind the door was our life together. But for her, there's nothing but misery there anymore. In our time together and in me. Forget everything I've said. The tale within the fourth door was the whole truth. I can live with that. I would just ask you to allow me one thing. To remain by your side. Of course you may. I was the one who asked you. To forget about everything and live in eternal darkness with me. It's a video game on the GameCube. Pretty famous. One silly question. Do you think I would ever say no? Right. You did, didn't you? Yes, I did. Worry not. I will banish the memory. I am sure you were simply disorientated of having learned who you are. There's nothing to fear. Only happiness awaits you. I'm getting excited now. What should we do first? Oh, I know. We should throw a party in commemoration of your decision to remain here with me. I shall prepare the most wonderful feast, my sweet girl. So you forget all about him, alright? That is what you desire. I will never be anyone ever again. You're not the brightest, are you, my dear? You knew this is what would happen if you took this road. You would have been happier going down without reclaiming yourself at all. This is absolutely brilliant. A weight has been lifted off my shoulders. My centuries-long wish had been finally realized. The one thing I didn't expect was for you to recover yourself. It all turned out the same in the end. You know what? Sure, I'll stay out of your way. And I'll pray for you both to be happy. Hehehe. Okay. So Morgana, though, okay, so that seems to imply the maid was not Morgana. Morgana is somebody else. The maid is truly Giselle, and we're also somebody else as well. Who are we? I mean, are we the white-haired girl? I mean, I think we said we weren't, though, for some reason. We were somebody else. I'm not sure. I'm still a little bit confused. But, yeah. I guess the whole story was a lie to make it seem like she's Morgana, but she's not. Morgana is somebody else even still, in the shadows, laughing at us, I guess. Master. Oh, thank goodness you've awoken. I was getting worried there for a moment. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves if you want. You like the same thing. Perhaps your taste has changed since last time. Tell me, master. No, that will do. As you wish. Say, master, can I help for you to compliment my tea again? Say is the best you ever had. Master? Oh, yes. I'm sure we'll have something nice to say about it. You were never one to withhold your praise, master. Such a gentle-mannered, kind-hearted girl. Have I ever praised her tea before? I do recall telling her, when I saw her gathering strange weeds from the garden for her herbal tea, that doing so at this house, given his reputation, only made her look like a real witch. And how did she react to that? I think she puffed her cheeks and frowned, and then... I can't remember. She thinks I'm the white-haired girl, yet she calls me master, completely oblivious to how absurd that sounds. But she won't say my name. Eventually, I'll probably forget it too. My name, who I am, everything that's happened to us, washed away by the darkness, never to be found again. She's smiling. I know it's not real, but I honestly don't care anymore. All that matters is that she's smiling. Okay, so this is probably another ending, if I had to guess. Ending 3, Bonjour, puppy. Puppy, I don't know what that means actually. I mean, obviously it's French, but I'm not sure what it translates to. So there you go, very similar to ending 1, I guess, is we basically just end up the same, just like Morgana said. But there's a little bit more hints to what we actually are. Apparently, we weren't the white-haired girl this entire time, we're somebody else. Maybe? Don't know how that works, though. Let's return once again, however. Got a lot of choices, you know. They push all the choices at the end, it seems. A lot of bad endings you can get. Not really bad endings necessarily, but you know, early endings, I guess you could call them. I mean, I doesn't seem so bad, you know, staying with this maid the entire time. Again, probably get bored, you know, because no internet, but you know, it's not too bad. At least you're not dead, I guess, or in like hell or something, you know, or at least something the equivalent of hell. It's not exactly heaven, but you know, it's not so bad. It's like basically limbo. Well, but this time let's just say, well, not remembering isn't an option. You're not allowed to not remember. I won't let you. You must face the truth. No matter what she says, I know I'm right. And if she doesn't reclaim her old self, I'll never get to hear her say my name again. I know I'm being selfish here, but I can't do that. If you're afraid of what you might find, we can remember together. I haven't got everything back yet myself, so let's open the real door, together. There are no other doors to open, but there is. One that can only open by our hands, because it exists between the two of us. Not a door of a physical form, but a door to your heart. That's so cheesy. The door to your heart. The door to... I grasped her unnaturally cold hand, and that long ago once had warmth. If she can't lead the way, then I have to. I must pick up the pieces of our erased history, so we can both reclaim ourselves. Find the actual truth. No matter what we may uncover, I will not let go of this hand. No, I mustn't let go of it. Darkness falls over the world around us, The floor upon which we had been standing flickers out of existence, setting us dropping into an endless abyss. This dark pit. This is her door, her history, her heart. Let's try this one more time. It's not a sweet story, by any means. It's a story of betrayal, anger, hatred. We cause each other pain. But that's the road we traveled. And down that road lies all the answers. The fourth door? The true fourth door. Not like the last one. Or the fifth door, technically, I guess. 1099? The same year. Alright. And the music, by the way, is like very cinematic. It reminds me of the movie trailer, but I guess it works. Alright. So this is the true story. Let's see what it entails. It had been several days since I left the capital, and I could still see it when I closed my eyes. The people line up on the Grand Pont, awaiting entry, eager to start a new life there, brimming with hope. It was a city people were willing to pay high taxes to live in. If you were a performer, you get some of those costs shaved down a bit by putting those skills to use. The capital was harsh on those who wanted in, and apathetic about all who left. It was composed of a powerful nobility and clergy, wealthy merchants and bankers, and a large population of poor. It was a city I'd called home for a long time. I didn't know much about where I was heading. It's getting foggy. Looks like it might rain. Okay, we're Giselle again. But obviously the real Giselle this time. Maybe we should take a break. You want to keep going? Oh, alright then. The coachman was frustratingly taciturn. Taciturn? He acted as though he had gotten stuck transporting a prisoner, though that was hardly a stretch. From his point of view, I was nothing more than a criminal. Even the times he would acknowledge I had said anything, he made no effort to hide the scorn in his eyes. To pretend he didn't regret ever taking this job, and I would just fall silent again. The road was gradually getting narrower. We had long since left the paved city roads behind, and were now traveling along a couple worn-down grooves in the forest. How did I end up here? Why was I being subjected to this? I was done thinking about it. You know, when I think about it, I remember the extra scene, that we got early on, before the fourth story. And yeah, I remember, we didn't, at least Giselle didn't go here by foot. There was like a stagecoach. Maybe that was one of the biggest hints that the fourth story wasn't as it appeared to be. Maybe. Well, the more I thought on it, the less fair it seemed. The more I remember, the worse it hurt. All I could do anymore was close my eyes and weather the storm. Deep within the dense woods, a mansion appeared before us like the world fading to view after a dream. It didn't seem to be an especially large house, but it had obviously been constructed with a great deal of care and was thankfully not standing in ruins. It's deep in the forest. The carriage came to a stop, and the coachman climbed down, signaling with his chin for me to get out. Thank you very much. You must be tired after such a long journey. This is the mansion I'm looking for, yes? But the driver didn't acknowledge me, getting back onto the carriage and setting off into the forest. He seemed to not want to get as far away from here as quickly as possible. He could have said something. Oh well. That was about all I could say anyway. Oh well. Oh well. I couldn't blame anyone for my being here or for his wanting to get out. I should get going, I guess. It's funny, I remember when I read this part initially, I thought, if someone was in the stagecoach, in my head I thought they were like a merchant or something, so I thought they were a completely different person, but I guess, now I have like so many ideas of what Giselle is, I'm getting it all mixed up now. I thought Giselle, I'm gonna be honest, initially I thought Giselle was just some like snobby merchant, looking for a mansion or something, I don't know. But that was the very first scene. As it turns out, she was the white-haired girl. But then as it turns out, she's not the white-haired girl. As it turns out, she's somebody else. I don't know. It's weird. Getting a better look at it, the house's windows were strangely enough all shuttered. I mean, it seems like Giselle is the person that was the maid, right? But like, she's not the maid? It's weird. It was probably dark as pitch inside. Does no one live here? But if that's the case, then why was I placed my hand on the front door. Such a big door. Wait a minute, well... Because I'm thinking, the biggest hint to why it seemed like the white-haired girl, at least in the fourth story, was actually the maid the entire time, was the little CG that we saw, right? That we saw that it was a white-haired girl, but then it flipped into the maid's face. But then whose perspective are we looking at in that case? So maybe I know who the maid is? I don't know, but then, yeah, I'm so many theories in my head. I don't know, we'll see, I guess. What if I could get in? I had no idea what else there was in the area. If the door didn't open, then I would die out here in the forest. I've come to accept much, but I was not ready to forfeit my life yet. Please open. It's not locked, I guess. The door was heavy, and though it seemed to protest my attempts to enter, it still opened much easier than I was expecting. I was worried over nothing. Looking in, I got the strangest impression that light was being swallowed up into the mansion's depths. But rather than going inside, it felt as though I was about to step outside the boundaries of this world. When I closed the door, it was so dark I couldn't even tell where I was walking. I wondered if the window was open. Though I managed to fumble my way over to a window, it was tightly shuttered and the shutters caked with rust. I was probably not getting it open without a fight. Darn, not a hint of light. I couldn't even see my hand waving in front of my face. It felt as though the floor would fall out from under me and I would sink into eternal darkness if I didn't watch my step. Fighting back that fear, I slowly walked forward, tracing the wall with my hand. There was a door at the end of a long corridor. I pulled it open, and a wisp of bone-chilling air brushed past me. It was too dark to see anything, but I could feel something different present in this area than the rest of the house. Uneasiness gripped me. Hello? Is anyone there? Please don't tell me it's actually abandoned. I suppose I can't know without looking around a bit more. My voice simply disappeared into the void. No response. As I pushed forward through the freezing air, for a split second I spotted a shimmer of light. Squinting my eyes, I was able to make out a large window. Unlike the others, it wasn't shuttered. What do we have here? Drapes? I see a lot of light beyond. My chances were slim, I imagined, but if there was even a slight possibility of getting some light in here, it was worth a shot, so I pulled open the drapes. And there's the angel stained glass. The next moment, faint but colorful light shone down on me. It was a stained glass window. From beyond the glass, I could hear the subtle pitter-patter of rain. It finally started, it seemed. The different colors of light blended into a milky white, dim but wondrous. So pretty. It looks like an angel. Why would someone cover this up? It's beautiful. With a little more light, it'd be... Please do not touch the drapes. Or the windows. Is it Michelle again? Or we'll see. Suddenly I heard a voice because he sensed someone else in the room. The man's voice was emotionless, neither deep nor high. Okay, so it is Michelle. The same. I was wondering if he would be replaced, but it is true that he lives in this mansion, I guess. Before long, he came into view, illuminated by dull orange candlelight. I'm sorry for coming in uninvited, but I did announce myself. The man stood there, practically blending in with the darkness. Had he been there the whole time? He was staring straight at me. His gaze wavered slightly, but not enough for me to read anything in it. Then again, I could hardly make out any detail at all under the light of a single candle. Is this, your mansion? It is. Well, thank goodness. I was afraid it was deserted. I suspect you would have preferred it if the house were abandoned. Oh, not at all. I would be scared to death staying in this dark mansion all by myself. I'm sorry. No ill will intended. But I do think it could do some light. That way you could see where you were walking. And I'm sure this room will look splendid illuminated. Not necessary. I may do perfectly well as things are. How can you see when it's so dark? I have an abundance of candles and oil for lamps. Again, reminds me of, lamp oil? Rope? Bombs? You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rupees. Anyway. I'm not in wild means of creating light. It's not your place to criticize my lifestyle. If you need light, you're free to leave. If you are in need of money, help yourself to some of the furniture. There's a village not far from here. Trade it for food, then make your way to a larger town. I'm no longer able to freely return to the city. I cannot go back there. Please, don't chase me out. I see. And do you ask this of me, aware of how people refer to this mansion? They say that a witch lives here. Not merely a witch. A cursed witch. If you remain here, you too shall likely suffer your own destruction. You're worried for my well-being? Witch or not, my mind is made up. I was sent to this cursed witch's mansion to atone for my transgressions back in the city. Okay, it's different. It didn't matter what lived here, I had no choice. Which will struck you first, I wonder? Regret or the curse? You seem to be doing just fine. It's only a tale. The witch is real. Very much so. It's not a legend nor a fairy tale. The witch's name was Morgana. Is me. He says that, but... Oh? Different text box, by the way. Are we from a different perspective now? You've noticed on the right? Yes. That was our first encounter. It was nothing flowery or dramatic. It was rather laced with suspicion and wariness. We knew nothing about one another. I had no interest in changing that. But nonetheless, that's where it all began. Where my history with her commenced. Okay. The woman had jade eyes. Right, so this is from a different perspective, I think. This is Giselle. Or rather, we're looking at Giselle. Open wide, they glimmered like jewels in the light, shining through the stained glass window. She seemed to be at a loss for words. I wasn't lying, per se. The rumors said a witch lived in this house. Okay, so I think we're Michelle now. And I was the only one who filled that criteria. Thus said rumors could be interpreted to be talking about me. After staring at me dumbfounded for a few moments, the woman suddenly burst into laughter. Well, here I was thinking you were kind of scary. It turns out you're actually quite funny. What? I never would have guessed you were someone to tell such a ridiculous joke with a straight face. It wasn't. You don't look at all like a witch. I mean, it's dark and I can't really see. But you seem to me like a rather handsome man. The word witch has a broader meaning than just a woman who practices magic. Any unholy person of cursed powers, man or woman, can be considered a witch. We don't live in the Stone Age. Anyone can be a witch. I think I get what you're trying to say, but my mental image of a witch is definitely more a woman. So you're not a witch. Fine, I'm like a wizard. I don't know. It's like, gosh, you gotta conform to gender norms. No, tell you the truth, I didn't know who might be here, which had me rather scared. But I think I'll make this work. What are you? It's a pleasure to meet you, Master. Sir. I was sent here from your old home. I was an Abigail for your mother, but well, I might have been a little goof. I froze the moment the word left her mouth. Home. The rats around in my skull, shaking up terrible memories that almost brought me to my knees. Why, after all these years, were they reaching out to me now? Not even sending someone to bring me back, just sending someone. For what end? What purpose had they shipped an Abigail out to this remote mansion? What was my mother thinking? Interesting. Because I remember in the fourth story he said his mother died, but apparently she didn't? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Is his touch of death? Maybe that was a lie as well? I'm not sure. But it seems like, yeah, okay, so Giselle was simply a maid. She was a maid this entire time. And she always was a maid, I guess, in the other eras, which makes sense. But her original occupation was definitely like a maid for Michelle's, like, family. Was this another one of her attempts to break my curse? What do you mean you made a little goop? My voice came out weak. I did my best not to let it show on my face. It was a teeny tiny mistake. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. What did Mother say about me? Well, it was actually your father who told me to come here. I never really spoke to your mother much. Father sent you. That made even less sense. Why would he have? Did Father even know I was here? No, if he had known, I would have been. Who was this woman? And what was her goal in asking to stay here? Well, there you have it. I'll be here for a while. If you need me for anything, do not hesitate to ask. I'm confident I can handle most everyday tasks. Now, where should I begin? Oh, I know. Are you hungry, Master? Food. I can't imagine you eat much, being as skinny as you are. I turned my back on her without responding. No matter what her goal was, she had been sent from that house. There was no way anything good could come of that, and there's no way I could live with someone who had ties to them. I prayed she would take the hint to give up and leave. Master? So I kept ignoring her. Master! I ignored. Master! I ignored her. Master, what would you like for supper? Nothing. Michelle's a lot less, composed than he is in the other story, it seems. But failed, spinning back and shouting. Her eyes went wide and gave a sheepish giggle. I glared at her as she fidgeted uncomfortably. Well, eating is one of the most basic human needs, so if you're hungry, you should really eat. I said I didn't want... comedic timing. Well, what was that sound? Must you ask? It's not a very polite thing to ask a lady, you know. Huh? It was a long trip, and all I had to eat in the road was dried fruit. I felt like I was some kind of animal. So, what I'm trying to say is that I'm hungry. That wasn't the sound of her stomach growling, was it? I thought lightning had struck in the distance. That's that loud. And I would like some supper. The kitchen is at the far end of the hall on the first floor. There's food in the cellar. Help yourself to any of it. Oh, thank you so much. I honestly feel like I haven't eaten in days and I'm about to die of starvation. Oh, and I shouldn't need any help finding it. I plan on exploring the house anyway. It's rather exciting, being in a new place. That did not go as planned. Oh well. She can do as she pleases. I have nothing to do with it. Oh, Master, are you sure you don't? No. Master. What is it now? My name is Giselle. It's a pleasure to meet you. And your name, Mass? Oh, Master, you... I actually left the room that time, making my way back to the chambers, just like, leave. At some point, I would seriously have to chase her out, especially considering she had come from the house. Regardless, I was not terribly fond of her.